economist. I also do work in postmodernism, in economics. I work on culture, I work on art, I work on Marxism. Some people call me a postmodern Marxist. One of the few. But one of the things I've done over my career is work on a journal called Rethinking Marxism. Some of you may have heard of it. And it's a journal that's dedicated to thinking about issues of class and politics and gender and culture and also art. Every issue we've done for 25 years now, we have special issues of art in all of those journals. And it's been a joy for me for the last 4 years. I've been dean of the college for 4 years, sort of like Jesse, to be dean of a college of humanities, arts, and social sciences because it gives us a chance to work together across the disciplines. We don't do it all the time and every day, but we do it often. We get together, we meet, and chairs meet together, we talk about our problems, we have different kinds of realities, different kinds of problems that we face, and so it's been a real joy. The other thing about Riverside is so unique right now, which makes it a really dynamic place, is our diversity. I'm sure you've heard about this, but UC Riverside now has undergraduate class that's 40% Asian, 30% Latino Chicano, I think 8 to 9% African American, and about 15% Caucasian or white. And 10, 15 years ago, it was pretty much the opposite, so it's been a real sea change. And we've been growing very fast, too. For the first time in our history, we're now 20,000 students plus. We're catching up to Santa Barbara, so watch out there, David. We also have a really good connection with our community, too. That's important for majors of the arts. We just built a new building. We renovated an old building called the Cullenberg Center for the Arts, which was funded jointly by the state, and the state had money. The city of Riverside, private donations, and the College of Humanities, Arts, and Social Sciences being my budget. So there's a lot of dynamic things going on. But I thought I'd raise something different today. I want to talk a little bit about resistance, because I think we're in a moment of resistance. And I want to hear from you guys, too. Talk a little bit about how we can resist what's going on around the country and around the world to the arts and to the humanities. I think we don't face this up squarely, we're kidding ourselves. Because right now, there's a major attack on humanities funding and arts funding around the world. You just see it happening in London, you see it happening in France, you see it happening in the rest of Europe, you see it happening in the United States, you see it happening in California par excellence. I think resistance is really critical for us to take seriously, and I know many people here do, and I want to hear what you think about this. There are 3 levels of resistance that I think are critical for us to think about. One is the kind of global, national, widespread, intellectual, rationale defense of the arts and humanities. How do we think about making our case that we're doing things that are important? That we're not just STEM fields, we're not just talking about science and technology and engineering, but we're talking about things that what we do are important. And I think we do this all the time. We've been doing it for many, many years. We see articles written in the New York Times, we see articles written in the Chronicle of Higher Education, we see people making this case around the world. I think we do that pretty well. We make our case. But I think we have to be vigilant and keep on doing that as we make the case for arts and humanities as we move forward. I also think that we need to think about resistance at the level of the state of California. I think the state of California is a real important local point, focal point, let's say, for decision-making that's going to affect our futures. I think that, it may be controversial here, but I think that the focus of resistance at the level of the regents and the president of the university is mistaken. I think it's more the state of California where the funding is being challenged and the privatization is about to take place. It's a reaction. Nobody in this university, at least none of the administrators that I know of, wants to move to a privatized model of higher education. But certainly, many people in the state of California think that. And maybe it's not just at the level of the legislature and the assembly, the senate, and the governor, but it's also perhaps at the level of the average citizen who doesn't understand the importance of public higher education, particularly the arts and humanities. I think that we need to make our cases and talk there too. And finally, I think it's really important that we make our cases at the University of California level. And that means that by the system and by our campuses. Because I think there's a lot of misunderstanding about what the arts and humanities do. They don't seem to be doing things that are important. They don't produce products, perhaps. They produce entertainment. We know that's not really what our faculty do in arts and humanities. Much more scholarly, much more important things. But it needs to be made. And I'll just give you one example that really struck home for me. Last year, I was the chair of the search committee at UCIRA looking for new provosts. I'm still looking. And we had a bunch of interviews. And these are people who are finalists. These are some top-level people. There were 2 of them in particular from the UC system who who were high-level administrators, higher than us. They weren't deans. Well, one of them was a dean. But they were from the School of Engineering and from the sciences. And in the interview process, the hotel interview process, where we just had this chance to meet with them, talk to them for about an hour or so, they didn't talk much about the arts and humanities. They talked about engineering, they talked about sciences. So I always would ask, well, how do the arts and humanities fit into your world? These are the answers. These are top-level administrators. You know. One of them said, well, I think the arts are really important. I like art. You should come to my office, and you'll see I have a lot of pictures on the wall. That was the end of that, right there. I mean, but that was stunning. And another person said, well, I think humanities are important because it's really important that our students learn how to read. That was the level of his response. These are people who want to be provost of the University of California, Riverside. This is what they think of arts and humanities. These are people in the UC system. So I think we need to resist that kind of understanding too. So I think we're in a moment of resistance. When we think about resistance, we have to think about strategies, we have to think about who we're resisting, we have to think about what we want in terms of that resistance. But to not be vigilant and not be proactive now, I think would be a mistake, because I believe we're in a very critical